Hello, I'm Will. Welcome to NYY Eye Test Baseball. Today is the 28th of September, 2024. Yankees just finished playing Game 2 of a three-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Yankee Stadium. This is their final regular season series of the year. They lose this one 9-4. There's a lot to talk about with this game. There are a lot of reflections, some anxieties that I have about this one, about the Yankees going forward. But the overall word today was frustration. A lot of frustration. Frustration with the pitching. Frustration with the base running. Frustration with the hitting. A lot of frustration today. Wasn't their best game today for the Yankees. Wasn't a great game at all. And I think we have to start with Luis Gil. Luis Gil, 4 home runs. A lot of home runs he surrendered today, and also a lot of hard hit balls. So it wasn't like the Pirates were just getting lucky. They hit quite a few balls hard today. With Luis, it was a bit interesting because throughout the year, his stuff's been, for the most part at least, besides that rough stretch, his stuff's been really good. His stuff's been good, but then occasionally he's walked a decent number of guys, right? So that's a pretty good combination. You don't surrender very many hits or very few hits at all, but you walk a few guys. That's okay. But today was a little bit of the opposite of that. Whereas in his last start was not that many pitches, at times losing the strike zone a bit, but then when pitches were in the strike zone, very, very high quality. Today was a little bit of the opposite. It was a good number of strikes, for the most part a good number of strikes, but a lot of the stuff in the zone, especially the off-speed stuff today, wasn't very high quality at all. I thought there was some positives where he was a good utilization of the slider against O'Neal Cruz. He had some good sliders there. I think against the lefties, I felt like he had better sliders against the lefties than righties today for some reason. The fastball, for the most part today, had really good life to it. When he threw it well, it had good life. I know he did surrender those 2 home runs. He did surrender 2 home runs on fastballs, but one was Grandal jumping on a first pitch kind of get me over fastball. And then Triolo there in the 6th inning with a really good piece of hitting. But for the most part, the fastball today was getting good swings and misses. But I think he was also hampered there in that 6th inning because that off-speed stuff wasn't great. He didn't have as much confidence going to that pitch with 2 strikes, right? In that at-bat, 4 pitches, all fastballs, because I don't think he had much confidence in that fastball, in that slot, in the off-speed. And then hitters are able to time up. So it works both ways. If your off-speed pitches are good, it takes pressure off of your fastball. If your off-speed pitches are bad, it's going to put more pressure on the fastball, right? So I think that's kind of what happened today. So so even though 2 home runs off fastball, I don't blame it on the fastball. It was pretty good. Changeup, not so good. Changeup was very, very recognizable. When a changeup immediately out of the pitcher's hand, you can pick it up. When I was watching, I immediately could see the movement of the changeup. It means that hitters have time to be able to adjust. Hitters can sit back, just wait a fraction longer, and then they can time up that changeup. Slider as well. There were a few sliders that backed up, a few sliders that for some reason just didn't have that sharpness that they normally do. So hitters can just have that a little bit of time to be able to pick up that pitch and be able to time that pitch today. So the quality of some of the off-speed just wasn't good today. Right? He had that changeup that was hit for a 2-run shot, the slider that backed up. Grandal jumped on that first pitch. And then Triolo had a really nice piece of hitting there in the 6th inning to hit that ball to right center field. Right? 357, but a good approach. And a good approach at Yankee Stadium as a right-handed hitter, you're going to get rewarded. But also, not only did he make some mistakes, it's rare that those mistakes are capitalized on the way the Pirates capitalized on those mistakes, right? Often you'll get away with a lot of the mistakes because you've buried mistakes within good pitches, you're in a good pitching rhythm, where hitters are out in front of pitches. So even if you make a bad mistake with a slider, for example, hitters hit that way foul because they're on time with the fastball. They're trying to jump the fastball. We didn't see that from the Pirates today. They were remarkably measured at the plate. I was very impressed by how cool and collected they seemed at the plate. They had an approach, looking to jump, looking to put pressure on heel. And then not trying to do too much. I know they hit 4 home runs, but they weren't trying to force things. And you could see some really good swings there when he made those mistakes. They were there to oblige. They were in a really good hitting rhythm. When a team's in a good rhythm offensively and they're in front, everything becomes a little bit easier. You're timing the ball better. You're suddenly not worried about everything else. You're focusing on your job at hand. It's very important for a team to be in good rhythm. The way you combat that is the Yankees have to put pressure on the Pirates, and that means the offense looks to score early. When you score early, you put the pressure back on the other team. You gain the momentum. It becomes harder to hit, 100%. Yankees haven't been able to do that. For some reason, at home, they have not done that very well this year. 9-4, they lose this one. Could not score early. It feels like when the Yankees bat first, I feel like that makes a difference. In those away games where they bat first, they've scored a good number of first inning runs, able to immediately put pressure on. And when they score first, they seem like such a better team versus when they are behind. And it feels like last few games, Yankees just take quite a few innings to get into it. They just have not, I think that's definitely a feature this year. They have not played very well at home because they don't get the bat first. They haven't put the pressure on the other team first to put them on the back foot. So heel, fastball pretty good, but off speed really not sharp today. And he's got to, cannot afford to throw lazy pitches in the postseason. Even if you're only pitching 4 innings in the postseason start, they have to be quality innings. You cannot afford to give up those pitches. Too many lazy, it felt like a little bit lazy arm or just really, really not great quality pitches. And those pitches are going to get hit hard. But the Pirates also did a great job of putting pressure on Heel and forcing him to make those mistakes. On the other side, it was Paul Skenes getting the start for Pittsburgh. And this is a great test for the Yankees facing one of the best. This is going to be the caliber of pitching in the postseason. Can you put pressure? Can you at least, even when he's in a great rhythm, can you grind a little bit? Can you try a different approach? Jump on a few pitches. Jump on a pitch, for example. Try to ambush him a little bit. Can you do anything to disrupt him from his rhythm? Can you fight? Yankees weren't able to do that, but he was absolutely nasty. I wish, honestly, as a baseball fan in general, I wish he'd pitched more to get him, to watch him pitch. I wanted to watch him pitch a few more innings. I mean, he's insane, absolutely insane. The gas comes free and easy. He threw fastballs both sides of the plate. Changeup was high quality, actually very high quality, surprising, but really good changeups. And that was very tough against lefties. He was able to throw 2 fastballs. He's got an insane four-seamer that he would do incredibly just with one four-seamer, but then also quite smartly mixes in a good sinker. I think maybe threw a few too many sinkers, in my opinion, over the long run, if this is his normal pitch breakdown. But, we're seeing a lot more of these top pitchers throw 2 types of fastballs, and it helps. Even you can have a not amazing sinker, but then having a great four-seamer takes pressure off of that pitch, and it makes each fastball better when you have a different fastball. But incredible. I mean, slider is fantastic. Changeup was really good. 2 fastballs working very well together. Great utilization. Fastball to both sides of the plate. I mean, unbelievable pitcher. He is an unbelievable pitcher. I don't know how anybody hits this guy. He is incredible. Wish we watched him play a little bit more, but probably a good thing he didn't pitch more. Otherwise, the Yankees probably wouldn't have scored very many today. Probably would have scored 1 or 2 runs today. Hitting wise, again, the overall was just, it was frustrating. In the first two innings, Skenes is nasty. It's tough. I get it. But against Burrows as well, it took kind of Rizzo's really good at bat, where he had that long at bat against Burrows to start to put some pressure. And we saw against Burrows, when the Yankees had some pressure going, when they were able to have quality, disciplined at bats, Burrows started to nibble around the strikes and started to miss the strikes, and the quality of the pitches weren't there. That's why it's so important. You have to put pressure on the other team. Sometimes it feels like we can't score. It feels like, nobody's swinging the bat well. Sometimes what it takes is a quality at bat. A really quality grind out at bat, even if I'm not really timing the ball well. I'm just grinding out there. And that's sometimes what gets the offense going. Then pitcher needs to throw more pitches. Guys are picking up that pitch. They're timing it better. All the rest of it. Right. And they just didn't do that. They were just, looks like lackadaisical for the first few innings. Not until the 5th and 6th were the Yankees actually putting some pressure. Able to put together some better at bats, right? To put some pressure. But then by the 5th inning, you're already down 4-0. That's the whole problem that I've been having with the Yankees. The last few games, even the game that they won against the Orioles, first many innings, very few runs, right? You're relying on your pitching to be near perfect. Today, same story, right? Unfortunately, today the pitching surrendered runs. But by the 5th inning, by the time you're actually starting to generate some offense and starting to put some pressure on the other team, you're 4 runs down. The Yankees have to play better from the first pitch. It really didn't look great today. It was a little bit flat today. The approach was a little bit all over the place to begin with. Maybe it was because the Burrows Skenes, it created a little bit of confusion there, with Skenes kind of acting as the opener. But yeah, the Yankees have to come out immediately in those home games. They have to start well. If the Yankees can start off with a lead, they're going to be able to likely going to be able to win the game because they play really well in front. I thought there was some good patience in the 6th inning, for example. But Soto today, Soto's been great all year. In so many occasions, he's stepped at the plate. He's an incredible player, no doubt about that, right? All of that is true. He's an incredible player. He's done so much for the Yankees this year. But today, he was really casual with the base paths. First of all, that second run out should never have happened. That was a single every single day of the week. You hit it right to the right fielder there on the ground. Right fielder fields it, a little bit of a bobble. There is no way you're going to second base. That is far too casual there. That's a bad mistake. Really bad mistake. A mistake you'd expect from a rookie. That's a single all the way. There's no double there. It's not like in the gap, the guy has to range over. It's right to the guy. It's a single every day of the week. You've got Judge coming up. It cannot happen, those mistakes. And 2 base running mistakes, right? One drops in front of Grandal, you get thrown out. A little bit ambitious. But the second one should not have happened. Too casual. A lot of opportunities the Yankees had to be able to really pour on the runs. But when you're behind, it's difficult. You're facing the other team's best relievers. But then when you're also making mistakes like that, that's why it's so important to start off well, right? To start and put the pressure immediately on the other team and to be locked in from first pitch. The game becomes much easier. Like the Pirates, right? They didn't have a ton of offense today, as in only 8 hits, but able to score very many runs. Because they're able to tack on runs, and they swung the bat in a really good rhythm because they were in front for the whole game. Plenty of runs to work with. The hitters felt relaxed, in a good rhythm, comfortable offensively, right? And that makes hitting so much easier. And the Yankees just did not that concentration, unfortunately. And they have to, they can't treat this as just trying to grind it, just finish out the season. There's something to play for. You want to to get first place in the AL, right? There's definitely something to play for here. Very frustrating for the Yankees today. I thought the other thing I will briefly mention is the pitching to Grandal. That Will Warren changeup, horrible idea. I know Grandal reaches for that pitch and kind of pokes it to center field, but he's leaning out over. He's looking down in the strike zone, trying to cover that pitch. You saw it with the foul ball earlier in that at bat. You saw it with the changeup that Grandal hit in another at bat, right, against Luis Gil in the top of the fifth inning. Go up and in. You got to jam the hitter. You have to jam the hitter there. It's just brutally frustrating. First in that inning from Will Warren, that walk, and then the changeup to Grandal. That should not happen. Brutally frustrating. You have an opportunity there, but so many times the Yankees had the opportunity to be able to keep it right there, keep it at a 6-4 game. Yankees, load the bases for much better opportunity to win the game. It's so frustrating, the Yankees. This reminds me of that game in 2022 where the Yankees, Stanton hit the grand slam. Before that ninth inning, it was similarly frustrating. Pirates were in a good rhythm. They homered off of Holmes, and they just kept tagging on because they felt very comfortable at the plate. Very frustrating today. Hitting wise, not particularly good. There were a few standouts, first of all, Jazz Chisholm. I thought Chisholm really swung the bat well today. He really swung the bat well. Change-ups down in the strike zone, he looked pretty good. Not change-ups, some of the off-speed down in the strike zone. Some of it he looked really good on. He started to time up that fastball up in the zone a little bit better. We've seen over the last few games. Chisholm, the bat looks really solid. Extra base hit and a home run. He looked good all day, to be honest. Even though he had a couple of strikeouts. And if he can provide some of that extra length that we desperately need in the bottom of the lineup, that's critical. Very impressive from Chisholm, actually. He's looked free and easy. Sometimes he's struggled, or he's had games where he struggles against certain types of pitchers, against lefties, for example, when the other opposing team brings on a few tough lefties. But he bounces back really well. You see him not carry the previous night's performance in the next night's performance. Rizzo was also the standout performer, I thought. Only one hit, 2 at-bats, 1 hit. But he's starting, you can see when he's trying to pull the ball, the timing's getting a lot better. He fought in that first at-bat. And the control of the strike zone's getting better as well. The biggest thing I've always said with Rizzo is because he's so good at swinging at pitches, at plate coverage, sometimes he expands a little bit too far outside. But today he did an excellent job, and he's been doing a really good job of narrowing the strike zone, right? Even taking some pitches on the edges of the plate, because that's where the pitcher extracts the most value, and the pitcher is able to achieve the most success over the long run. Focusing more on the heart of the plate, he's starting to pull and time the ball a lot better. We just hope that he's not injured out for the postseason. He's starting to look a lot better, and his defense is critical at first base. So we really hope that Rizzo is, and he provides such a big boost. If you have Rizzo hitting well in the bottom of the lineup or near the bottom, in the 7th hole, that's going to be critical for the Yankees if they want to be able to make it a deep postseason run. Today, the other Judge struggled today. I don't know if it was because of the off day yesterday, but the timing definitely struggled. Fastballs, was struggling to catch up to a lot of fastballs today. I don't know if it was maybe something slightly mechanical, but definitely struggled a little bit there today, Judge. And overall, the Yankees, Stanton struggled today as well. Didn't pick up the ball very well at all. Soto, you can still see he's a little bit in between, not the best of forms. You hope that he has a few better at bats and you can start to build off of it a little bit. Build off of these starts a little bit. But nothing remarkable from the Yankees, and I still think that today is a perfect example of the Yankees still rely on Soto and Judge a ton. And if they don't perform, if they don't come through, we're not going to get very far in the postseason at all. We've added Chisholm. I think that's really good. I think that lengthens out the lineup. We need Stanton to be able to produce. We need Stanton to be able to produce a decent clip. Wells, hopefully, can start to find some form. And then Torres is hopefully as well in the top of that lineup. But overall, a frustrating game. Just briefly on the relievers for the Yankees, I thought Tim Hill again. His ERA is 3.36 now, and I think it's even lower with the Yankees. He has been excellent. The consistency in how he's been able to throw the ball, both sides of the plate, sinker when he needs it, four-seamer just to take pressure off of each pitch, right? The location of those pitches, he's been excellent this year. He's really, really been good. He'll give up some hits, but then he's so consistent on getting the ball on the ground. Those hits turn to nothing. Those singles turn to nothing, right? So Tim Hill's been excellent. He's far exceeded my expectations. I've been very impressed with Tim Hill. But overall, yeah, again, just a frustrating game for the Yankees. What they have to do tomorrow, they have to win in the postseason. Put pressure, be locked in the first pitch. In every pitch, from the first pitch, you have to be locked in, trying to put pressure early on the other team, immediately trying to put pressure on the other team. They cannot afford to make boneheaded base running mistakes. Have to be focused and concentrated, and have to play with urgency. I think that with Soto, with those guys, I think that's going to happen with, in the postseason. I think we're going to see more of that urgency. But today, a bit of lack of concentration from a few of the guys, I think. So they have to score early, and I think when they score early, I think everything will become a lot easier. And hopefully, Luis Gil can iron out some of the off speed that's been a little bit not so good today. Hopefully, he can get better action on it. I don't know if he was a tired arm or whatever it was, but hopefully he fixes that for next time. But thank you for watching if you've made it this far. If you have any thoughts, opinions, comments you'd like to share below, suggestions, anything at all, anything you want to say at all, please feel free to leave that in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.